Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most ambitious economic plans on the planet, India's strategy to raise an unbelievable 10 trillion rupees. And the interesting part, they're not doing it by selling off national treasures. Instead, they're unlocking their hidden value. Let's dive in.
So, at the very heart of this entire strategy is this powerful vision, Viksit Bharat, which means a developed India. But as you can see, this isn't just about building bigger factories or faster trains. The real goal is to balance all that ambition with inclusion, making sure that the benefits of growth actually reach everybody. This is the big why behind the massive numbers we're about to talk about.
And look, the message coming from the government is pretty blunt. The time for just talking is over. This slide really visualizes that shift, away from rhetoric and towards real reform, from just talking to actually doing. It's a signal that they plan to push through some really bold structural changes to make that vision a reality. And asset monetization, it's a huge part of that push.
All right, so how do we get from this grand vision to a concrete 10 lakh crore plan? We're going to follow the money through 5 key steps. First, we'll get a handle on the economic ambition that's driving all this. Then we'll define what this asset monetization thing actually is. We'll look at the incredible scale of the plan, see how it's supposed to work in the real world, and finally, we'll connect all the economic dots.
Okay, first up, let's look at the context. Why is a plan this massive even needed in the first place? What's the economic engine this plan is really meant to fuel?
Well, the strategy is built on what's called a sankalp, which is basically a set of national pledges. Think of it as the mission statement. You just can't accelerate growth or build resilience to global shocks without the physical backbone to support it. And that backbone, we're talking roads, ports, power grids, it requires massive, and I mean massive, sustained investment.
And right here, you can see that commitment in the numbers. Public investment in infrastructure is just being supercharged. The target for 2027 is a jaw-dropping 12.2 lakh crore rupees. To give you some perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of some countries. A number that big, well, it begs a pretty obvious question, doesn't it? Where is all that money going to come from?
So, Section 2. How is this massive build-out actually being funded? This is where a really specific and pretty clever financial tool comes into play.
Which leads us directly to the 10 trillion rupee question. How do you really pay for an infrastructure boom of this magnitude? And the answer lies in this strategy called asset monetization. Now, that sounds complicated, but stick with me, it's actually a simple idea. Imagine you own a house, but you're not really using it to its full potential. Instead of selling it, what if you just leased it out for, say, 30 years? You take all that lease money up front, and you use it to go build a brand new house. That's the core idea here.
Now, this slide is super important because it shows what this isn't. This is not privatization. The government isn't selling off the family silver here. Nope. In monetization, they keep ownership. It's basically a long-term rental agreement. A private company pays for the right to operate and maintain an asset, and at the end of the deal, it goes right back to the government.
Okay, on to part 3, the plan itself. Now, this isn't the first time they've done this, but this second phase, well, it's on a whole other level. This all became official in the 2025 budget. And notice that key phrase, plowed back. That's the whole point. This isn't just about raising money for the sake of it, it's about creating a self-sustaining cycle of investment. The success of the first plan really paved the way for this even more ambitious second act. And here it is. The headline number, 10 lakh crore rupees, to be raised between 2025 and 2030. That's a 10 followed by 12 zeros. It's an enormous sum, and it signals just how big both the monetization effort and the infrastructure ambition really are.
And don't think this is just some idea on a piece of paper. It's happening right now. As you can see here, the process is already well underway. The government's main think tank has done the groundwork, the accounting rules are in place, and the plan is moving toward final approval. The wheels are already turning.
Okay, moving on to Section 4. We've talked about these huge kind of abstract numbers, but what does raising 10 lakh crore actually look like on the ground? How do you get from a policy document to actual cash for new projects?
Well, it means taking infrastructure that's already built and already operating and monetizing it. We're talking about the big stuff, national highways, power lines, railways, ports. These are the kinds of assets that private companies are interested in because they're already up and running and generating revenue.
The government's own monitoring documents make this totally concrete. For instance, just for the fiscal year 2026-27, the Ministry of Road Transport is on the hook for raising 30,000 crore rupees just from national highways. This is how that huge 10 lakh crore number gets broken down into real, actionable targets for different departments.
And this slide right here really gets to the heart of it. The official government speak is additional resource mobilization, but a much better way to think of it is as a capital recycling program. You unlock the value from what you've already built to finance what you need to build next. It's designed to be a continuous loop of investment and development.
All right, our last section. Let's pull the camera back out and see how this one policy fits into the bigger economic picture. Because, let's be honest, a plan this huge never exists in a vacuum. And this might be the most crucial takeaway of all. Asset monetization isn't some standalone magic trick. It's a carefully placed piece, a very big piece, mind you, in a much larger economic jigsaw puzzle. And it's designed to lock in perfectly with all the other major initiatives.
The whole point is to create what you might call a flywheel effect. Monetization brings in private money and operational expertise. This then complements other government efforts, like pushing for public-private partnerships and innovation. The idea is that when all these pieces lock together, they create a self-reinforcing cycle of growth and investment.
So these other policies, like encouraging those public-private partnerships, giving interest-free loans to states for their own projects, creating new ways to fund infrastructure, it's all part of the same playbook. Everything is pushing in the exact same direction. Build more and build it faster.
So when you put it all together, what do you see? You see a really cohesive and frankly creative strategy for financing the country's huge development goals. It's a fresh approach to public finance, using what you already have to build what you need for the future, all while keeping public ownership of those key assets.
Which leaves us with one pivotal question. The plan is ambitious, the numbers are astronomical, but will monetizing the assets of the past truly be the key to building the India of the future? The execution of this plan over the next 5 years is going to give us the answer, and it will be a fascinating story to watch. Thanks for digging into this with us.